Oh my gosh. Hey guys. Guess what time it is? Another reading wrap up for the month of, what month is it? May. I love to do these. I love to yap about the books I read in the month. And this month we have 10 books, which is great. It's great. I will say, guys, should I say? Yeah, we'll say. I had the best reading month of all freaking time. Do you want to know how many 5 stars I got? 3. Oh my god, this is great. 3 5 stars. I've never got 3 5 stars in 1 month. And I haven't even got 3 5 stars. Sometimes I don't even get a 5 star in a month. This is like crazy. This is unheard of. I just read such good books this month, and I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, this was the best reading month of all time. Will we beat it? Who knows? Who knows? Probably not. This one was too good. Let's just jump right into this bitch. First book that I read in May was 20s Girl by Sophie Kinsella. This is about a girl named Laura. Her great aunt ends up dying of old age, and everyone goes to her funeral, and at that funeral, after she dies, she can see the ghost of her aunt, which is bizarre. And Sophie's aunt, Sadie, is missing this necklace that's really, really precious to her. It's like her whole life. She loves it. She doesn't know where it is. And in order for her to move on and not be a spirit, a ghost, is to find the necklace. So Laura is helping her find this necklace that's gone missing, basically. It was good. I will say, in the beginning, I wasn't a big fan of Laura or Sadie. The things they would do sometimes were just very selfish. They were just kind of self-centered, and the communication between them just wasn't it. I don't know. They just didn't, I didn't vibe with them. But throughout the story, you could really see their growth, and they learned to understand each other, and they ended up loving each other so much, and they were just such a cute pair, and I loved their relationship. And I don't know, I really thought their growth and with them helping each other was so cute, and they were like besties. I loved it. Girlhood, great. And I thought the premise of the book was really interesting, and like with finding the necklace, at some points there was a little bit of a lull within the story where I wouldn't be as interested and I would get a bit bored. But overall, it was very interesting. The ending was really good. It was really sweet. I enjoyed that. And I really liked how the romance in this wasn't really a main part of the story. It was very much minor side plot, kind of put on the back burner, but in a good way. Like, I didn't want there to be that much romance within this. I really wanted to see the relationship between Laura and Sadie develop and grow. And I just thought the whole concept of the book was so interesting. Like, I wasn't as excited about a romance, but the romance was sweet. It was sweet. But I liked how minor it was. I thought it was good. Overall, though, 3.5 stars is kind of average. I think just when I would get bored and trying to get to know these characters in the beginning, it just like was really a struggle for me. But overall, sweet story, cute book. The next book I read in May was The Bookshop by the Bay. This is about 2 best friends who start running this bookshop together, and they're trying to figure out how to start running it, get it super busy, and they're like a little stressed about how they're gonna make profit especially within the off season, because this is set in Charleston. So during the off season, it's not as busy, so they were worried about possibly running out of business, all that stuff. So it's kind of that. and you kind of get to see the girlhood between them, the two friends. I think that's really sweet. So it was, yeah, and basically they're just running this little bookstore together, which is cute, and it also has a coffee shop attached to it. So it's like, honestly, who wouldn't go? That's what I'm thinking. Because what the fuck? I would totally go to a bookshop attached to a coffee shop. You're joking. Anyway, I will say it was cute. It was good. It wasn't my favorite read this month. There's someone walking. I don't want them to see me. They're looking up. Never mind, they're not. I always get nervous, even though I'm on the third story, so people aren't really looking up here that much. I don't even think they can see me. But I get nervous that they're looking at me, especially when I'm filming, because I film like right by my window because the lighting is so good. I have such a good setup. Anyway, doesn't matter. There's someone else. Okay. Anyway, there was 4 point of views, which I thought there was only gonna be 2 between the best friends. I don't even remember the names. Jess and Allison are the besties. But it's also in the point of view of both their daughters, which I was a little surprised about, and it didn't really say that within the summary. So I was like not expecting that. And I'm not sure if I really liked that much. I kind of wish they stuck to the 2 point of views because it just made more sense. It was easier to follow. It would have been easier to follow. But with the 4 point of views of both the mothers, the best friends, and then both their daughters, it was just very confusing. I would sometimes lose who I was reading about, and it didn't make it clear sometimes, so sometimes I would just randomly switch to a different point of view, and I wouldn't even realize for a bit, so I'd be a bit confused. And then also, those bitches wanted to get fucking laid. Because why did all of them, like, they all kind of had the same personality too, which also did not help. Like, it was so difficult to differentiate them other than their names. Like, that's the only way I could. Or the people they would talk to, they had different like groups of people that they would hang out with sometimes, so that helped, I guess. But overall it was just a little confusing. I think the love, because they all ended up having love stories, I think that was kind of random. I wish all of them, at least some of them didn't. One of them, I don't know. It just felt like, I don't even know. It just kind of bugged me. It didn't feel very realistic in my eyes for all of them to have a love story, especially within the same timeline. The way that this love story was went about, like when they were talking about who they wanted to be with or their crush or whatever it was just all the same thoughts that they would all have. So it just felt like I was reading one character in 4 different people. So I was a little bit disappointed, I will say. Overall, 2.25 stars. It was cute. Wasn't my favorite read though of the month. Guys, this freaking book, drum roll please. Okay, this is about Liesel, who lives in Nazi Germany, and it's about the Holocaust, basically, and her experience with the Holocaust. And you see her kind of with this, like, you see her grow up in this world and with the war that's happening. You see her meeting new people, getting connections with friends, family, all that. And one thing about her is she loves to read. She is a reader girly, and she obviously, within that time, her family isn't very well off, her foster family. So they can't usually afford books, but so she ends up stealing them, and that's like her whole thing. She steals books and reads them, whatever. I freaking loved this book. I read this in middle school for my English class, and I ate that shit up in middle school. So I was like, let me do a reread. It's kind of weird that off that I did it right before summer, but I just really wanted to read it. It just, ugh, come on. I wanted, like, I can't. I wanted to read this book so freaking bad. I loved the characters. Rudy was my favorite character. I love him. I love him. I also love Max and Liesel and her parents. Oh my god. Just everyone in this book is so great. Like all the main characters. I love them. I loved their relationships, like with the found family, and you can really see their connection. And Liesel is just, I loved her. This book broke my heart, ripped it out, stomped on it, destroyed it, crushed it. I was so distraught. I think I died a little on the inside. I can't. I'm not even joking. I was bawling to this book. Like once I reached like the halfway point, I would cry every once in a while. And I would cry throughout a chapter or a few chapters. But then once I reached like the last 20 minutes of the freaking book, bawling for 20 freaking minutes. I could not get a hold of myself. I had to take so many breaks because I just could not handle the pain that I was feeling reading this. 5 stars. 5 stars, guys. You need to read this. Best book ever created. I loved it so much. Ate this shit up. I want to reread it already. Maybe I'll read it during the winter time because it's just so good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, next book. Okay, we have a Kindle read, guys. Yay, we love to see it. I didn't read that many books on my Kindle this month. My Friends by Frederick Bachman was the book club, one of the book club. There was 2 book club book of the months. What? There was 2 books this month for the book club book of the month for the Bookmarked podcast. But this wasn't like the main one. Wait, maybe it was. I don't even know. This is about a girl named Louisa. She sees this painting when she's really young and she just is so drawn to it because it's a painting of 3 friends by the ocean, sitting by the ocean laughing, but they're like really small in the painting. So at first glance, they really go unnoticed and it just looks like the painting is the sea, basically. But she notices these 3 friends and she has a postcard of this painting, falls in love with it. This painting really gets her into painting and art, and she loves art because of this. And she's always wanted to know the story behind the painting and what the 3 friends were laughing about, because they're laughing in the painting. And she kind of goes on this journey and meets one of the friends. They end up going on this journey, and as they're traveling, going about, she's finding out about the story between the 3 friends and learning about them and all this stuff. And it's so cute, so sweet. I love this story. I think the pacing of the book was so good because you got little details about the friends, but you weren't told too much about it, and so you got to learn about the characters in present day plus within the past timeline. And there's this build-up with the characters throughout the whole story, and you know something happens at the end, but you don't learn what it is until the very end, obviously, but it's built up throughout the entire book. And the entire time I was reading, I was so stressed trying to make theories about what happened, what went wrong, all the stuff that happened. And it's just so devastating and so sweet because you get to see the love between all the friends, and they're so cute. And Louisa's so funny. I was dying. The entire book, I was chuckling at everything. Not even just Louisa. The friends, I was chuckling at them. I thought their story was so sweet, and they just loved each other so much. It was great. I loved it. I loved it. So, overall, 5 stars. I thought it was the sweetest story. so cute, would reread. In the end, I was so sad. It just, I love a book that just rips my heart out of my chest. Like, I don't, if it doesn't do it, I don't want it. Actually, I do want it, because sometimes I just need a little contemporary romance. I eat those shits up too. But I will always love a book that breaks my heart. So, 5 stars. This is the second 5-star of the month, guys. What's your guess on the last one? The Skyfall by Shannon Messenger is the next book I read in May. This is about Vane and Audra. It's in both their point of views. Love a dual point of view. This is about Vane, who his parents died when he was young, like a little child. His parents died. And he doesn't remember anything about how they died or just anything about them at all. So he has no recollection of what happened. He ends up getting adopted. He lives with his adoptive parents. And Audra is a sylph, which is a wind, someone who can control the wind, basically. And she is his guardian, so she's sent to protect him from something we don't know what. Their location ends up being revealed, so she needs to protect him, and because their location is revealed, she has to train him, basically, to prepare him for this battle. And we get to see that experience, but the issue is they're not allowed to fall in love and like each other, whatever, but they end up falling in love. That's what it's about. I think the premise is really good. I will say I didn't really like Vane in this book. I didn't really like him because he was just kind of a weirdo. He constantly commented on Audra's body, and he would complain constantly about her whenever she'd wear a jacket. He'd be like, oh, I wish she wasn't wearing that jacket so that I can see her body. And he was just like, yeah, I get you're attracted to her, buddy, but every single time he would compliment her on anything, it was always her looks, always her body, and it was just weird. And he did it constantly. So I didn't really like him because of that. And then I just think the battle at the end, it was building up for so long, and it didn't feel that big to me. It was kind of minor, and I kind of was expecting more. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I thought it was interesting. I liked the plot, very interesting. I don't know. I also wish that we got introduced to more characters, because kind of the entirety of the book, it was very focused on only Audra and Vane. So we only really got them. And I wanted more. I love it when a book has lots of characters, you learn about them, you grow with them. I just eat that shit up, and just because it was just the two of them, I was like, oh, I don't know about this one. So, overall, rated it 3 stars. It could have been better. But look at the cover. Beautiful. So pretty. The next book I read in May was the second book to the Skyfall trilogy, which is Let the Storm Break. This book, I will say, I enjoyed it more than the first one. Wait, what even happened? Vane was also weird in this one. Gave me the ick. He was making the comments again, obviously, but not even just with Audra this time. He was like doing it with all the girlies, like some of the girlies. It was so weird. And we did get more characters in this one, which I really liked, because the characters that were introduced, I ended up really liking them and enjoying their personalities and all this. They were really lovely. I think it was interesting, the overall plot. It was definitely more action-packed, and the final battle in the end was bigger and more interesting and more entertaining to me. The build-up was kind of slow, though, I will say. And I still didn't like Vane. I disliked Audra more in this book as well. Wasn't my fave, but loved Gus and Solana. They were really, like, they were probably my two favorite characters. There's three characters that I ended up liking. I liked Solana, Gus, and Ashton. I thought they were cool. Great. Loved them. Perfect. Amazing. Yeah, and I thought the battle was interesting. But the build-up was kind of slow towards the battle, and I don't know, the battle also felt kind of sudden, I will say. So overall, 3.5 stars. Of course, had to finish the trilogy up, obviously. This one, also more action-packed, more interesting. Loved Gus so freaking much in this book. I love him. He was so great. Love Solana more too, and Ashton. Those three favorite characters, I'm gonna rank them. Gus, Solana, Ashton. Yes. And then Audra and Vane are down there. Audra just got like weirdly jealous of Vane, or jealous of anyone Vane would look at or like talk, like any girl that he would look at or talk to. And that kind of got on my nerves because she would, I don't know, he would glance at someone, he would look at someone, and then Audra would be saying all this shit about, oh, he doesn't like me, and whatever the fuck, and he likes her just because he like looked at a girl or spoke to a girl, and that just like weirded me out. I didn't like that. I don't know, wasn't my fave, that bit. And then there was something that happened in the book that was like so annoying, so stupid, really upset me. Like, I was pissed. So that lowered my rating for surezies. But I think the ending with the battle, I was like, oh, that's it? You could have done that this whole time. So 3.5 stars as well. Not my favorite series. Overall, the series, I would say, would be a 3 stars for me. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe you'll like it. So I'm not saying it's like the worst, just wasn't my fave. The next book I don't have with me because it's with my other books. So sadly, it's not here. But that book, here, we'll put it here next to me so you guys can look at it. The 7-Year Slip. Oh my god. I was so excited to read this because I've heard such great things about it, and I read the back, so I kind of knew the premise of it, and I was like, okay, I see the vision, this is really exciting. And it's about this girlie, her aunt ends up passing away, so she moves into her apartment, but her aunt's apartment is magic and sends her 7 years in the past. So she is basically randomly can be walking into the apartment and it's 7 years in the past, and she meets this guy in the apartment and she doesn't really know who he is in the present day, doesn't know much about him, and they get to know each other. That's all I'll say. It's really sweet. I thought the story overall was so cute. I really liked Ewan and Clementine. Ewan is new book boyfriend, guys. Book boyfriend material for surezies. I thought the story was so cute. The concept of the apartment putting her into the past was so interesting, and seeing their relationship and friendship grow was so cute. And I don't know. And then the end, I was tearing up for surezies. Like, it was so sweet. I love it when a romance, not even like, because romances don't usually make me cry unless it's like something really sad happens. But I was tearing up because of how sweet it was. I was like, oh my god, that was so adorable. I couldn't. It was the sweetest. Thought it was so cute. 5 stars. 5 stars. That's my third 5-star. I ate that shit up. I loved it. I've been getting so many 5 stars. Such a good reading month. The next book that I read was The Spanish Love Deception. I read a lot of romance this month. I'm just now realizing. Anyway, this is about Catalina. She works at this company and there's this guy, Aaron, and she does not like this man at all. But she has her wedding, her wedding. What? No. She has her sister's wedding coming up in Spain in, what was it, like 3 weeks, I think it said, something like that. And she told them that her family, that she was bringing a date because her ex has his fiance. So she was like, I can't show up to this wedding without a date being my boyfriend. I need a fake boyfriend, basically. So Aaron offers to take her or to come with her to the wedding, but she hates him. So this book is so cute. I read this, I want to say 2 years ago, I think it was. I loved it 2 years ago. There's this one scene that I just think is so cute between them, and I think about it all the time. I love it. And that one scene just makes the whole story for me. Like, when I think of that scene, I think of this book. Or when I think of this book, I think of that scene all the time. Aaron, book boyfriend, love him. He's so great. I loved her family. I loved her. I loved Aaron. I loved the friendships that they had, the experiences they had. I will say it was kind of slow paced in the beginning. I forgot how slow it was. So that took me a bit to finish. It took me longer to finish than I expected. And also, the miscommunication wasn't terrible. If you know me, you know I hate a miscommunication trope like no other. That's my least favorite trope of all time, because the miscommunication is always just like the stupidest thing. But this one, it wasn't horrible. I don't know. I wish there wasn't one, but we can't get everything we want. Overall, really enjoyed, really liked. 4.5 stars for sure. Very, very good. Very good. Not a 5-star, but it's okay. We got 3. We got 3 5 stars. I'm not too worried. The last book I read in May was One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. Oh my god, yay! This was also the book club book of the month. I was putting it off, I won't even lie. But I officially read it. Thought it was so cute. I really liked Charlie. He was great. Also, new book boyfriend. I've got so many book boyfriends this month, guys. This is great. I love it. I love it so much. This is about Alice takes her nan to the lake that she went to when she was 17. And she stays in this lake house. And she basically wants her summer to be like how it was. Not be like. She wants to relive her summer from when she was 17 and do the things that she wanted to do, but was too shy to do when she was younger. And she's a photographer, so she loves taking pictures. And she's like, you see her grow with her photography, and just like you see her, she's not in the best place when she goes, but you really see her grow as a person. She becomes so much happier, and then she meets Charlie, who is helping in the house, and he lives across the bay from her for the summer. And they have a little friendship going on. So, super cute. Loved Charlie. Loved Alice. She was so sweet. I loved Nan as well. All the characters were just so great. I think their stories were great. Loved the connections between them. I would get frustrated at points with her family and things that would take place with that. And it just, I don't know. In the beginning, I will say, the plot, it felt rushed, but also just like, when things would happen, it just the pacing of it was awkward. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was just like, oh, okay, whatevs, but love Charlie. All the characters are great. I love the story overall, and I thought it was so sweet. I was a little nervous, little stressed, and I did tear up at the end because there was just a lot going on for sure. Overall, 4.75 stars. It was really good, really sweet story. I really liked it. Not a 5-star though, but really high up there. It was really good. Definitely read this, guys. Such a cute story. Loved it. Okay, that's all of them. All 10. These are all the books I read in May. If you thought any of these were interesting, you should definitely read them. They were good. I enjoyed them. Very, very good reading month. Very good reading month. I will talk about my 5 stars forever. I ate that shit up. I know it's a 5-star when I want to reread it immediately after I read it. That's how I know. I think I got some good books this month. So cute. If you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And yeah, that's the end of this month's reading wrap up. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.